self-improvement this year. How about giving brain training a try? Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. With us from Posit Science, maker of BrainHQ, is neuroscientist and CEO Dr. Henry Mahncke. Great to see you again, Henry.
It's nice to see you, Fred. Thanks for having me on.
A pleasure. So BrainHQ has been around for how many years now?
The company was founded in 2003. We launched our first brain training exercises and published the first study that showed that they worked back in 2006. And it's been an incredible 20 years of growth and progress, both from a science perspective and from a product perspective, and from a national mood around brain training perspective, I would say too, Fred.
Well, this is a multi-platform app, I suppose we could call it, with brain training games that are designed to do different things. They're games, but you can never win. So tell us how this works, Henry.
These are brain training exercises that are designed to make your brain literally faster and more accurate and improve the health of key neurochemical systems in your brain. And in that sense, you can think about them like physical exercise. If you go for a swim, you go for a run, you will go with lift weights, you're exercising your muscles. And as you exercise your muscles, hey, that builds the health of your body, makes you stronger, builds your endurance. You can do more things and lead a better quality of life. Training with BrainHQ exercises is exactly the same. There's more than 24 brain training exercises in BrainHQ. Each one's a little different. Some are more focused on memory or attention or thinking skills or navigation or social skills, but they all work together to make your brain faster and more accurate. And by doing so, they help build a healthier brain, which helps improve your cognitive performance and helps improve everything about your life. The brain's the most important part of your body, after all.
And I'm sure you've heard from a lot of skeptics over the years. I can hear people in the audience now saying, really? Come on, can that really work? But you
You
have
know,
studies, and this past year, a lot of new scientific evidence came out.
Yeah, you don't have to take my word for it. There are more than 300 published studies now specifically using brain HQ exercises. And those are in all kinds of people, young people, old people, people with healthy brains, people with not so healthy brains, and looking at all kind of measures, cognitive skills showing that it helps people think faster, focus better, and remember more, or real world skills showing that it helps people be safer drivers, avoid auto crashes, reduce their risk of falling, be faster at everyday life, and all kinds of skills like that. Even helps improve symptoms of like mood symptoms or depressive symptoms because having a healthier, more resilient brain helps people bounce back. And that really answers one of the central questions. When we started building brain training exercises back in the day, I think one viewpoint was, well, hey, this is kind of like a game. I'm just going to get better at it, right? If you get better at chess, it doesn't really mean you're any better at bridge. And it certainly doesn't mean that your memory when you go to the grocery store is any better, right? And so people thought, well, hey, maybe brain training exercises are kind of the same way. I'm just going to get better at this exercise on my computer, but who really cares in my life? But these 300 studies really answer that question conclusively, right? Study after study shows that the right kind of brain training, making your brain faster and more accurate, it really does generalize to things that you haven't done before, measures of memory or thinking skills, or real world measures like we talked about driving and fall risk and work performance. So that data is really in, and that's been quite an exciting ride.
And a lot of people are interested in this, and some have been convinced through commercials on TV or whatever. Oh, what do I need that for? I can just take a pill. But you got to do the work, right?
You do, you do. There's really no pill yet for cognitive performance or preventing dementia. There are some new medications that have just come out for treating Alzheimer's disease once you have it. Once a person has been shown to have this buildup of this amyloid plaque in their brain and their doctor has diagnosed them with Alzheimer's disease, there are some new medications. Those cost $50,000 a year and they require you to get an infusion every month. What we're talking about here now is, hey, what can you do to build your brain health well before you're ever diagnosed with something terrible around your brain, right? What are the things you can do to keep your brain healthy and happy and well ahead of time? And that's really a tremendous change in how we think about it, right? We're not thinking about, hey, just sit back in your chair and let nature take its course and we'll give you a $50,000 drug once you have dementia. We're thinking about, hey, what can you proactively do right now to build a sharper, faster brain to maybe put that day off? And that's really an exciting kind of shift in our national conversation around brain health and Alzheimer's and dementia.
It's not just for older adults. You have studies showing long-haul truck drivers have benefited, and stories have been out there about athletes making use of this, and that helps with perception, speed, reaction, different
All
things.
of those things, Fred, all those things. And you're right. I think one thing we've really learned from the science over the years is hey, brain training is not just when you get older and you maybe begin to notice some of these issues. First of all, the science shows us that we're at our cognitive peak on the average. I'm afraid to tell us both this, Fred, at the age of 27. And you and I think, together, are maybe just a little bit older than 27. But hey, what that tells us is that, hey, brain training can help improve brain performance at just about any age. And in that way, it's like physical exercise, right? You would never say, don't do any physical exercise till you're 60 years old, right? That's the right time to start to fight back against physical decline. That's obviously insane. And what we're learning now is brain training is the same thing. We should think about maintaining our brain health and our cognitive health at every age. And the studies show that, whether it's long haul truck drivers, law enforcement operators, high tech knowledge workers, all kinds of people, we've now shown help improve their cognitive performance. In fact, we have the Super Bowl coming up, and there's more than a few NFL athletes who've been using BrainHQ over the years to sharpen their cognitive performance and be their best.
And we've read about some big names. So tell us about pricing, Henry.
BrainHQ is an inexpensive program. It's a digital health program. And hey, people can come. First of all, you can register for free. You get one exercise per day to try out and see if it's right for you. And then, hey, if you want to subscribe and unlock all of the exercises, depending on the plan you pick, it's just a few dollars a month, under $20 a month.
Terrific. And the site is brainhq.com. Henry Mahncke, thank you for spending time with us.
Thanks for having me on, Fred.
The Haven 10,000 lantern is a smartly designed, beautiful solar light that you will love indoors or out. It is waterproof with up to 1,200 lumens of brightness. That's a lot of light. And the base becomes a flashlight at the push of a button. The power comes from a built-in lithium-ion battery recharged by the sun. The solar panel is built in, or USB-C. The battery can even recharge your phone. Did we mention how durable it is? How it folds down and can run for up to 120 hours on a charge? But the real power of the Haven Lantern comes from the people behind it and their mission to provide this quality lighting to those in the world who need it most, including in disaster emergencies. Your purchase helps to fund those efforts, and if you use the code Techstination20, you'll get it at a 20% discount. That's Techstination20 at havenlantern.com. Create your haven.